Hey folks, welcome back to the UniVic build. We'll come over this way. I'm doing some more cutting and I am taking my time. I'm not wanting to make any mistakes. It's a whole lot easier to cut off metal than it is to add back on, especially with my welding skills. So I have cut out this section. I'm leaving this part up here. I'll probably end up either doing the lower panel in the front and back with the humping middle, or I may do the wood over top like a lot of people have done. I'm still deciding on that, and I'll kind of look at some more pictures. But anyway, cut this out. I'm probably going to remove the mufflers. I'll leave the cats, both sets of cats on both sides, but I'll probably take the exhaust off while I've got this open. I'll go ahead and do that. Just a little tip, as you're doing this, I took a piece of metal and cut out, it was like a fender piece or something, and then kind of shaped it to where when you're doing these cuts in this area, like through here, there is the brake line. So I just cut this and slid it under, and you can see where the blade kind of hit a few times. We'll go around to the other side. Same thing on the other side. You've got the fuel lines and the other lines coming up through here, and I just slid this thing in all the way up to where those were completely covered. So as I was going through with the Sawzall, started with the grinder and made a mark all the way across and just cut through. And then down in this area, you've got these two little supports that go through. That's the thick area. So you got to be careful. There's lines on both sides. As you're cutting through that, don't go deep. So I used the grinder, not the Sawzall, to make sure I didn't hit those, and then pulled that out. I also went ahead and cut the area back here off. I've been, of course, marking my grounds as I go through. So I had to pull this one, which was back here. I had to pull it off. So what I'm going to do is re-ground that real quick, and rather than using a big grinder, I'm going to smooth this off just to put it back here for the time being so I can still start the car. So I'll use my little Dremel tool. So you might want to turn your volume down just for a second here while I'm doing this. So now we've got a good little area there for it to have contact with. So we will put this on here and snug that up. And I tried to put it down in the lower area there to where it's not going to get caught if something just happened to come across the top of there. Snug this the rest of the way up. Okay, that should be good. And as a tip, someone mentioned the other day I was plugging and unplugging every time I was switching from the grinder to the Sawzall. I went and got one of the 3-prong plugs so I don't have to keep switching out. I'm going to give it a quick check after virtually everything I do. All right, fuel pump's humming. All right, we're still good. So everything I've done, we're still able to start the car and it's still running. So as most of you probably do, I do that after just about everything I do to make sure I haven't messed anything up. As I mentioned before, I'm gonna try to do a Bible verse in. So if you're not into that, you can go ahead and end the video here or fast forward. I'm gonna toss in, it was the other day before I cut some more off, like I've cut the fenders off. Another thing up here, I'm going to try to save as much of the inner fenders as far as this area and leave as much of this stock Crown Vic as I can. So I know I'm going to have to cut more as I start dropping the truck down on it and sizing everything up. I know I'll have to cut some of the front off, but I'm going to try to keep as much of this so that I can keep everything in its stock Crown Vic location and as much of this as I can. So we'll see how that goes as we progress. But anyway, I'm going to do a Bible verse, especially with the times we're in right now and all that's going on. So again, if you don't want this part, you can go ahead and end the video or fast forward to the end. The other day I backed the car out and did one last drive, so to speak, with the Crown Vic before it becomes part of the truck, and did a little burnout with my kids. But anyway, 2 Chronicles 7:14 says, "If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. So with the coronavirus and COVID-19, you know, the different things they call it, those of you that are believers, I just would like you to encourage you to pray right now. Don't have fear. You know, just, you know, keep moving forward. God's going to guide us through this. It's all going to be okay. But that's going to end it for episode 8. Actually, I'm going to tag in a piece in another video the other day where I did the burnout with my boy, just to throw in on this one. So that'll do it for this episode, and we'll see you next time. One last ride is a Crown Vic. Sort of. That was a little burnout.